I've been privy to your amazing villa that you're building here in Bali. That
Yeah.
looks beautiful and exactly how I would like my villa to be.
Mm.
And interesting to me that you're building those high-end villas while being dyslexic. So you're building it from like start to finish, but you don't really read or write. How is that possible?
Well, how is yeah, how is it possible? I guess, but first of all, being dyslexic, is that well, I realized that it became my superpower, right? It's something that I used to I used to thought it was something that was negative on my side.
Yeah.
And then it took me a while to figure out that it is my superpower and that I can use it at my advantage. So I don't do the things the same way people will do it because when I'm building something and creating, I'm building and creating things to learn because my passion I don't learn by reading or writing. So if a friend tells me, "Hey, you should read this book. It's amazing about like entrepreneur or business development or power or self," then I don't do that.
You're just like, I'm just going to build a business and learn.
I'll just build something, and then
Amazing.
while I'm building something, my capacity of learning is happening at the present moment. So
Beautiful.
so I'm able to build, and then and in a perfect way for me, I'm able to calculate everything and keep it in my head. So I'm able to go like, okay, I'm up to 25,000. Okay, I'm up to 100. I'm able to calculate everything and just keep it and put it in a box, and that's my mathematical box. And then I'm able to go, okay, oh, I got about 100K left. Okay, what do I have to do? And then I open the other box, and then I'm able to go like, so I don't take notes, I don't write, I don't make any prediction, but I get really excited because I'm learning, and then I challenge myself to if I'm able to achieve it.
It's beautiful because now there's so much information around us and a lot of people procrastinating by learning. It'll
Mm.
be like reading a book or watching a podcast, and in the end, you feel like you've done something. Like I'm an expert in trading because I watched a YouTube video on trading. But what I like about you, you would just go and trade, for example. Not your thing
Yeah,
because
yeah.
it's a lot of
It's a
a
lot.
lot of reading.
It's a lot of reading.
But if that person would go and trade, and fail, and learn, that they would be way further ahead. So there
Mm.
are times where you need for advice, and then maybe the book is helpful, or so. I assume you go for advice and ask people for advice, but instead of learning everything about the subject, you just dive into subject, and as you go, you learn.
As I go, I learn. And also, you always find ways to be able to get better knowledge. So my way was a lot of time is having friends that are better than I and surrounding myself with older people when I was younger
Yeah,
and still today are wiser people. So I found tools that would give me that would help me in my superpower consciously or unconsciously. That's what I would be doing, right? So
yeah,
I would be going, let's say, to have dinner with like some people that I would believe that would bring me knowledge in whatever department I am in life or where I'm going or how I can grow as a person.
yeah.
So I think I've used a lot of my friends to help me, and my surroundings have became my books.
So
And
interesting that you found a framework how to use what is disadvantage for many
mm,
as an advantage. And it's only disadvantage because society thinks that reading and writing are the most important things.
mm,
In school, when my kids go to school and my mom would ask, do they know how to read? Do they know how to write? The only important thing. I'm like, no, but he can climb the palm tree and he can build whatever he wants.
yeah.
Is that good enough? So I assume you had issues in school because of
Oh yeah, I
dyslexia.
had the issues in school because of dyslexia. And in the 80s and 90s, I guess it was a disadvantage. It was almost what we used to call a handicap, right? They would say, well, you cannot read and write, and then I would have to go see psychologists in school, and then they would see it as, oh, or you're lazy. So then the word was not even used yet. It was still like, ah, Like you're very good. Like you would do, I would do a verbal IQ test, and I would get really high or high, and then I would do a written, I would get super low, and then they would say, "Oh, well, you're lazy," you know. So this brought some small traumas, and those traumas grew up, or when you grew, not grew up, grew. So, or when I would talk in front of a class, then people would laugh if I had a speech to make, right?
Hmm.
Because then I had to read my notes or had to remember the notes, and then I would be hesitant or I couldn't read them. So then people would laugh. So then that created something that then I needed to figure out how to get out of it, right? So then I became funny in school or made jokes and then sit in the back, and I found ways to go through school, pass through school, make friends, be nice with the teachers,
Yeah.
and also be make myself be respected instead of learning the way traditionally we would learn in school. I developed different tools, I guess, that today became my superpowers.
And when did you realize that it is superpower? Because I assume for a long time in your life you thought it's a disadvantage.
I would say in my 30s, yeah,
Okay.
my beginning of 30s. I believe that's when I started realizing 30, 35, I start realizing, okay, this is something I need to be putting practice and use. And I started building more businesses and growing my business and start realizing the way I was building my business was not in a traditional way either. It was, I would not make a business plan.
Yeah.
I would just dive in it with emotion and with a lot of determination and a lot of emotions related to it, and the emotion I would be living would give me power to be able to achieve what I needed to achieve. So that's when I started realizing, okay, it is a superpower. And
Mm.
then, yeah.
It's very interesting. So let's say you want to build a beautiful villa.
Mm.
You see the end result in your head first?
I I see the challenge of it being something I see the emotion I'm going to be living all through the process of building it. So I'm looking at it almost hour by hour, day by day, and month by month, and then I see all the emotions I'm living, all the things it makes me feel, and then I grow with that. So then if I felt sad and hurt because I did not guide the employees properly, then at night I recap on that and go like, okay, what did I do? I talked this way, I reacted this way, and then it created the people working less fast or slower, right? So maybe if I change my way of communication with them, then it will help the productivity of the project. So
But for me, for example, if I mean you're creating the whole project from architecting it to building it to taking care of all the small details. It's not my industry, but my logical mind would
mm,
say I would first make a drawing how it's supposed to
mm,
look
mm.
like, then I would create some other 3D mock-up how it would look like, and then I would find materials, etc. So how do you approach that? Like when somebody says, "Joel, I want to build a villa in Bali."
Okay. So how I approach it, well, first thing I spend time with the person. The most important for me is that we are going to be in a relationship for a while. So being in a relationship for a while, I make sure that we sort of have a communication skill together and a respect together, because that's my first. Because if we're it's I'm not money it's not the money that drives me. Even if you the money is something that I will spend one way or another on something in to upscale my life. So I'm not driven by that. I will be driven by the person.
Yeah.
So that's my first thing. The second thing, I'll be walking on the property a lot, spending time on the property, walking on it, seeing how I feel on it, and then make a decision how the flow will go. So that's the first steps that I use is
Well,
how will the flow will be going while you are on the property. So if you have the kitchen in one space, the living room, the rooms, the pool, or the sports facility, or the guest house, or whatever you need, I'll be trying to understand the flow of how you would be walking, or the guests, the person that would hire me would be walking. So if they have kids, how
hmm
they feel secure on the property, if the kids are sleeping at the right distance from them, if they're going from the kitchen to the pool, while let's say they're young kids, I'll be thinking, okay, the mom is going to be cooking for the next 5, 6, 7, 8 years, 9 years, so she needs to have a view on the pool. So I'll be going through that process for a long time, and then I'll
that's cool.
start dribbling and on papers and trying to figure out shapes. So
So you draw. You don't write,
I
but you
don't
draw.
draw really well,
Yeah.
but I can do squares and triangles and circles.
Okay. Okay.
So I'll do squares, triangles, and circles, and then I'll sit down with my 3D technician, and then we can start building the vision. And during that process, I usually one of my favorite part is um, talking with the people that I'm building for them,
Yeah.
because I find it very important that they're part of this adventure, and I feel that I have the privilege of building it for them, so I want to make sure it resembles them and not my vision, right?
Yes.
So that I can build it for them. So I try to get them involved as much as possible.
Cool. Because the villa that you have, it's very nice inspiration by Japan. There's part of it like French, and you can see those small parts. So it's a very
Yeah,
well thought through, like every, and you create furniture as well that is
yeah.
very comfortable. So all of those details are super important. Requires a lot of a lot of really big attention to detail.
Mm.
How do you
How
how
do
do you
I
how do you do
how do
that?
I do that? I stay up. Uh, I go to bed early and I wake up really early. So that really gives me a hand in a funny way, because at 5 o'clock I can walk around and there's nobody and the birds and I, and that really helps me focus. Um, but I think I'm able to do it because I don't I don't plan it all. I see it like a piece of art. So I'm able to build and just make sure that what I've built, I have I have space for mistakes. So because the mistakes make me grow, and more I make, the less I make after.
Yes.
So I accept them when I make them, and usually when I make a mistake in construction, building, architectural design, I try to look at it as there's a reason why that mistake is there,
Yeah.
and then I take that mistake and I bring it into something positive. So I will then say, well, okay, the view there is not working, so then maybe there's a reason that I've done that, and then I start shifting and continue creating from that mistake without taking it down.
Yeah.
So, and I guess
That's actually cool.
that works for me. So then I go like, okay, then, wow, I did this, and wow, okay, then the kitchen is not really working the way I thought it was going to be working. But then I try to use this as an advantage and something that I must move on from there, right?
Yeah.
I, and I guess maybe dyslexia brought a bit of that because it happened to me a lot in school. So when I couldn't understand what was happening, or I would read a paragraph and then I understood it, and then I would read the second one, but I'm focusing so much on reading the second one that I forgot the first one.
Wow.
So then, and so on and so on. So when you're reading many paragraphs, then you just keep forgetting the one on top.
That must be
But
very hard.
it's hard, but then what you do is you open box and you make a story with little things that you can remember, and then you patch it all up together after. If you need to do do a speech in front of the kids in the class, then I had to create a story, even if it was mathematic or French or history, right? I had to create something in my head
Yeah. So you have associations.
as associations,
That's how
exactly.
people actually, that's the best way to remember things is to associate to different objects in your head.
Yeah,
And
so
so that's what you do.
so that's
So
what
if I would ask, let's say you're ordering a sofa, and I would ask how much does a sofa cost, you would go to those associations and then you will draw the number from there.
yeah, and I probably will know how to budget it because I'm able to calculate in a really quick way that the sofa is made out of wood. There's going to be nails, a screw. There's going to be fabric. There's going to be that, and I know fabric is about that much. So I can say, okay, a sofa is going to be about 12,700,000 for this type of quality.
Yeah.
In
We're talking about
rupia,
rupia.
rupia, rupia,
But people in
or
the US are like, wow,
wow, that's a
nice
big
sofa.
sofa. Yeah, I thought the same. Well, 12 million. No, so yeah, or 7,000 or $17,000. Then I'm able to calculate if because majority of the time I'd rather design it all from the beginning to the end.
Yeah. But it's crazy that you know the price of even nails.
Well, in the construction background, I guess that's why I've done construction project management because I can remember all these details that even myself sometime I ask myself, how do I remember that? And I don't remember somebody's name when I get presented. Or if I'm not living an emotion or I'm not living a challenge, then my memory shuts off.
Living in emotion, what is that? Because you were telling that even for projects, you need to feel, you need to see what emotion you will feel. So, for me, who doesn't really understand the concept, what is it? Like, can you describe that? What is that emotion? Like some
So
examples.
it's a feeling. It's something that it's a sense that I would get. It's an open sense of something I would get as a feeling. So if the contractor, let's say I'm learning from an older, wiser contractor, and I'm 30 years old, and we're sitting and we're having a coffee, and he's explaining to me how structures work in construction, and he's explaining to me how the metal, you need to put the wood and cross and all whatever you need to do, how to build a wall properly. Well, I ask him question that first I'm gonna remember the name, the prices. I'm gonna try to remember the the name of the studs or the name of the materials. I'm gonna ask him question on the, and I'm gonna remember the emotion I had when I was sitting with him taking a coffee and learning. So that emotion after that, I'm able to bring that in a project and I can think about him and I sitting there and exchanging all that, and then I remember how to build a wall, and I remember approximately how much a wall will cost me by remembering the time we spent together having that coffee, and he was helping me learn about structures.
That's interesting because I was actually thinking about the memories I have, and most strong memories have sort of some kind of emotion.
Mm.
So if I remember a place, I remember how I felt in this place.
Yeah.
Like it's, and some places where I don't feel anything. There are places where you just move by and there's like nothing. I don't remember those places. I don't remember what I did there.
Mm.
That's interesting. I never thought about it this way.
So,
So you said dyslexia, you were not comfortable talking in front of people for most of your life. You were not doing speeches. As your first podcast. Thank you for
yes,
that. So why did it went that way, I guess?
well, first of all, it was a difficult path because, again, if people are laughing at you when you're in class, then it's a little bit difficult to feel comfortable, right? The reason I came here is because I met somebody, a new friend, that told me just show up, and that was you.
Okay.
And just show up. You took a line out. We were talking, and you said just show up, and I went like, yeah, just that's all you need to do in life is just show up, and then if you show up, then
Things happen.
things happen, right? So
Yeah.
so thank you for that.
Awesome.
helped
No,
me,
thank you for coming. I really
that helped
appreciate
me
it.
to come here. But yeah, that's why I did not show up, was because I was scared of failure. I was scared I was scared of not doing it properly. I was scared I thought I had to remember what I needed to talk about, or I completely, I saw it like school.
Okay, I see.
I,
Yeah. Pressure.
I saw it like pressure. So when I was asked to go and talk in front of people and I make a speech, or even when it was somebody's birthday, or even when it was my birthday and I got a surprise and there's 100 people there and they're like, yeah, speech, speech. And then I would start sweating and being nervous. And
It's interesting because out of many friends I have, you're one of the most out there. Like everybody come to you. We were at the dinner last week,
last week, yeah.
and you're a center of attention everywhere you go. So I would never assume, just looking at you, that you would be shy to make a speech because you're so outgoing. People know you, people respect you. You talk to everybody. You remember details. So for me, when I hear that you're afraid to like speak in front of people, I'm like, if Joel is afraid, who is not? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I think, yeah, thanks. Well, I think I'm working on it. It's something really that I'm working, the shift of seeing my dyslexia as a superpower really is helped me grow a lot. So, I'm really using that as my tool at the moment, and and I'm and also by I let go of the past. So that really started helping me. So that's it. And showing up,
Yeah.
that's my new line.
All right. I'm happy to influence
Thanks.
a bit there. So for the kid who is out there who is dyslexic and think that something is wrong with them, what would you tell them?
Oh. Well, I'll tell them to start working on the their feelings and their emotion for me, and start using this as the biggest tool that they have, and they're born and they're lucky, because I believe that dyslexia brought me a beautiful life and brought me a lot of challenge, but brought me this amazing life, because the important is that they're going to be trying to tell you that there's an end result to something. So there's a reason why you're going to read this book, because at the end you're going to feel that, oh my, I know something now. So, and then you're going to use it as a tool, right? Or you're going to build a house and then you're going to live in it and then you will be happy. Well, somebody who's dyslexic don't see it that way. We 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 see it while we're doing it. The end result is not something that we think about. So use that. I would tell those young people, use that and just make the most beautiful things happen, because you're going to be living the moment more than what's going to happen at the end result. So,
That's really cool. I'm getting more and more realization to that over the last few years how important the process is. As society, we put a lot of emphasis on, yes, results.
result.
What do we get out? So we're like, the process doesn't matter. You hustle as much as you can, but then you're going to be rich and then you're going to be free. Or you don't like this relationship, suck it up, and then at the end, you're gonna be fine. You're gonna go to heaven or whatever people say. And in the end, the only true thing is now the process. And if you're not enjoying the process, how do you expect to enjoy the result of the process that you don't enjoy? But for me, who is a very goal oriented, I'm like opposite from you.
Yeah.
I can see you tell me build the house, and I would see the house. I would see the result. And then from the result, I would figure out how do I get somewhere. Instead of me thinking about how do I feel, what's the processes, I would just look straight at the house. Or like, if I need a house, okay, I need that much money, let's go. So, but I always envy people who can, instead of me logically thinking through it, like I'm going for a report, you see it. Like if I tell you, here's a house that I want to build, you would see it in your head with a vivid detail. And I think this is what makes it very special, that you can visualize things so well. that it inspires you to take an action just because you see it in your head. And for me, it's like I don't see the house. I just see the numbers, the word house. I can blindly imagine that there is some kind of house or associated with houses I've seen, but I could not visualize it. And I would like, if I could, to do it. But
Yeah.
yeah, just
Yeah, I
one.
like and I love the process while I'm doing it. So,
Yeah.
and I love the challenge of the budget. And so for me, it becomes my goal and my objective is to be able to nail it without even taking notes. Just doing it and getting into it becomes really day by day is my the only way I can get into it. Even when I started building this project of mine that I've been building for 2.5 years, I didn't even know what I was building. I did not know at all where I was going with this, and I just started getting a little bit of another piece of land and this and a little bit more and continue and empty the bank account. For me, that was not important, that the bank account was empty. What was important is that I was achieving something and it was growing and I was learning. So and then yeah, that's how I just continue and then things happen and then magic comes maybe.
And in the end, it works out,
In the end it works out. In my case, in the end it works out.
which is,
In the end it works out.
I think it's important because if you only focus on the process, in the end, it works out. If you focus on the result, at the end, you did not get the result you were expected. It was something completely different. So if you would focus on one result and get the other, you would get disappointed.
Disappointment.
But because you don't have the end result in mind and you're just like, I want to create something really, really cool and I'm going to enjoy every second of it, no matter what the result is, in general, you'll be happy.
You'll be happy you'll be happy. At least during the result. It's like when I started making art pieces. And then for me, I didn't understand when I make art pieces and then I sold art pieces pretty expensive and but I didn't understand why I would need to take pictures and then show it online or create something that for me is already it's done. It's something in my mind and my soul that I've created, I've done, I sold it, and then I'm moving on to something else. I didn't ever understand why I would need to take pictures and ride that wave or showcase it. I wouldn't even it wouldn't be something that would go through my mind until somebody would tell me, "No, you need to do this and that," and I would be like, "Oh, that's what you need to do."
Or not?
Or not. Or not.
Yeah.
I chose or not.
Yeah, I was preparing for this. I was looking at your Instagram, and it's very interesting. There's a lot of AI art, I guess. There's a lot of
Yeah.
those beautiful images you have on the
Yeah.
Instagram. So it's not you; it's the other. It's the art you create with a computer, I guess.
Yeah, it was well, it was a while ago. I haven't posted in a long time, so it was more a long time those pictures. It was people that would inspire me,
Okay.
and I started writing a phrase of my day.
Yeah.
So it was I would find a picture or something that would inspire me, and I would write a little like that makes me think of my family.
Yeah.
I was just going through having fun in at the beginning, and then I've stopped. I've never
Beautiful.
really.
But I really like that. That I find people who are very interesting, they're not very present online because their life is so busy doing cool stuff that they don't have time to post about it.
Yeah.
How do you feel about all this duality that you live here and then you kind of present your life in social media or wherever in a parallel way, let's say?
Well, I feel maybe I would have, maybe I could have enjoyed trying it or doing it more. I don't see. Maybe there's a little bit of I don't comprehend why I would need to do that. I don't. For me, I don't understand it. I I get it that people do need to do that or want to do that, and I do respect them in their choice. But for me, in probably because of my dyslexia, I don't see the point of something that is past. For me, something that is past does not exist. So I'm not attached to it. It's just gone. So I don't understand. It's just a comprehension. It doesn't follow inside of me to say, oh, well, I need to hold on to this to and put it on. I don't really understand.
Well, I think I'm getting it from what you were saying that you're focusing on the process. A lot of people on social media are focusing on certain results.
Hmm.
Oh, if I'm gonna post every day, I'm gonna get famous and I'm gonna get paid for posting online. Or if I post how I lose my weight, I'm gonna continue losing. That's a lot of people do.
Well, yeah,
Or
I did it in a different way. When people would tell me, "Oh, send me your work," I would be like, "Well, I'll send you a few numbers. You can call them and see how my what they f- how what they live working with me, right?" So I would be more like, and they'd be like, "Huh? Like, send me everything you've done. I'm really interested." I'd be like, "Okay, well, I'll send you three, four, five numbers. Call them,
yeah,
find out how their experience went working with me, and that would be that
yeah.
was my card, I guess."
It seemed like you found the way how to be free, because a lot of those people who are on social media, you can see how it consumes them.
Mm,
Because if they don't appear on social media, then like their life is kind of pointless in their opinion. They also do go to places to take picture,
yeah.
which is the worst. Like when you go somewhere, like I'm gonna go horse riding. I don't like horses, but I think it looks cool on Instagram. So I'm gonna. So you don't have that because A, you're not making money on social media. Your friends are all real life friends.
Yeah.
You don't like texting. You like calling. So you're already kind of avoiding all of this, and you're living a life that you don't need to show up
Mm.
online.
I don't, yeah. Or I don't want to show up online, I believe, maybe, or I don't need to. Probably I don't need to. You're right. I don't need to. That's a good. I've never seen that side, but I don't, and I probably would not enjoy it.
But it seems like this is the true freedom because many people they have to.
Well, true freedom. In my case, I can talk for myself, but in my case, sometimes some people don't does not understand at all. So they'll be challenging me in a way of going, well, if you've done all this stuff, but how come we can't see it anywhere? And I'm like, well, I don't know. Maybe you, I don't know. Maybe I can go look in my old computer and we'll find it somewhere if really we need to. But yeah, I've done.
Well, because he didn't do it for them.
Yeah, and I've done the
Yes.
process for me, and I've challenged myself because I, yeah, because I'm working on my power. I'm trying to become better at what I do. So, to become better at what I do, since I'm not reading and writing, well, to become better is by actions. So when I'm doing actions, then I grow as a human being. So I try to stay in my actions.
But how do you choose which actions to take?
Well, that's a process, right? How do I choose? Well, my surroundings is a very important. I realize more and more my surroundings is bringing me to different choices of what I want, and taking taking time to to know your capacity and know know your limits and know what steps you can do to become better, and maybe not try to jump it too high, and not bring it lower so it's easy. If you bring it lower, it's easy.
Yes.
You know, if you ask me to design furniture, that's easy. If you ask me to build a house and do the project management of the house, it's easy, even if I'm not taking any notes. If you're asking me to do all the architectural, then I'm getting a little bit of a challenge. I can do it. I can start doing it, right? Or or art, when I start doing like land art, and then I've done a big project for the city of Montreal where in the park they asked me to make like sculptures for kids to go hang in, and then for me that was like, wow, okay, I gotta do it nice. I have to make it strong. I gotta make it solid. I gotta make it work. I gotta hire the right people, and I have to create it. And wow, that's bringing me to a bigger step, right? So I've never done that before. So doing that was yeah, my way of
Okay, so you haven't done that before, and it's a big project. How do you know that it is not over your limit and it's just enough for you to be
surroundings,
okay?
friends, surroundings, contacts, people, communication, honesty. So communication and being if I feel it's getting a little bit bigger than my capacity, I will call somebody that's better than I and say, I'm hitting a wall here. I'm hitting a wall. I need your help. What should I be doing? This. How should I be doing that? So the fact of I think your network, your all not your network, your
Network is your net worth.
yeah,
Is that what you're
thank you.
saying?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So that's actually another interesting thing. I think with dyslexia and in general,
Mm.
the friends that surround you are very, very important. So,
Yeah, very.
and when you get to a certain point in life, there's more people wanna be your friend that you're accepting, I guess.
Yeah.
So how do you find friends, and how do you choose when to stop relationship and when to continue?
Oh. When to stop is difficult because I get I'm very emotional and sensitive. So when to stop is probably the hardest. Uh, how to build friendship is it's it's been more difficult in my case because I I didn't I'm sort of learning now the needs of others because I've been focusing so much on my needs and my survival. I was a bit long time on a survival mode because of dyslexia, because of my superpower. So okay, and I have to remember so many things that it like I have to remember. I sometimes I have 50 employees, and I got to remember the paychecks and this and that and everything that's going on and where their position. And I'm keeping all that information inside of me and inside of my head. That then when it's time to go out on a relationship and say, hey, let's go out for dinner, and I start thinking of my needs, and I forget the needs of others. So that's the part in my friendship relationship that I need to be working on right now. And in the last years that I've been trying to understand that people have needs
Yeah.
and that they have they also when they have a relationship with you is because they want to share things with you, and they also want to grow. But, but I was focusing so much that I needed people to help me grow.
Yeah.
Does that make any
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
sense?
I think it's in general. I think it's a general human nature to relationship needs to bring you somewhere, even if it's like a marriage or love relationship. There needs
Yeah.
to be some value exchange. You make me feel good. You support me, and
Mm.
that makes me do better things in the world. And then I, as a result, support you. So I think it's always. I mean, I could be wrong. People are gonna listen. It's like you narcissistic piece of shit,
Maybe, maybe.
and you would be right.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, same.
Uh,
I get
but
it.
that's how I believe. I believe that everything is an exchange,
Mm.
and some exchanges are people you take more than you give, and sometimes people just come and they take.
Mm.
There's a person I met just one time at the party, and then after that they would be sending me messages over and over again. Help me with this. Help me with that. Do this. I'm like, I
What?
don't even know who that is. I'm like, we just saw each other once. So like those are little skewed
Yeah,
relationships, and I'm
that
like,
is like.
but in general, yeah, there's always an exchange.
Mm. Yeah,
Like
there.
even if you make me feel comfortable, for example, like on a level, or I need to feel peaceful and we go for a bike ride. This is my egoistic mind wants to escape and it needs to find somebody. And you on the other end might need help with something, and I provide you help. So I think every relationship is an exchange.
It is. And there's one thing with my relationship, I do like to help. So and it brought me some good and sometimes bad situation, because let's say I would have friends who would start building and I would be like the first one going like, "Hey, I'm gonna help you," like because I care for you. I'm gonna be there. I'll if you need, just write to me questions, and then, but it's not always been a service that I've done myself or them by doing that.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But now, what I was going through with this narcissistic piece of shit dilemma, that once you realize that helping others makes you more fulfilled,
Yeah.
it's also egoistic way.
Yeah, yeah.
So if I help you, not necessarily I need anything in return, but by you feeling good, I feel good. And for me, that's a new learning, because I was always like, if somebody helps me, I feel good, great. But I learned when I help somebody in a small or a big way and they feel good, it makes me feel fulfilled. So I think this an exchange is also really important. And once you can feel that, really happy for others or feel fulfilled through them, actually really good with kids, when you just help them out
Yeah,
and
yeah.
they do something and they're like, it's my idea, this feels so good. You're like, oh, great. You feel fulfilled. And I think the more we do it, it's like a very, very good hack in life, because you do it, they feel good, but it makes you feel good in return, and you kind of serving, but you're also fulfilling your own needs. So this is a kind of a levels in life. So first you help yourself, and then get people to help yourself. Then you're helping others, but in the end, you feel more fulfilled. But
I-
it's all about yourself.
It's
Very
yeah,
egoist.
it is like that. I get it. I get it. In my case, I've been on this survival mode, I guess, for like trying. Oh, I've been trying to learn so much, because and trying to learn as much as possible. So I've been just not absorbing, looking at that side of what I can bring to others. I've been like, oh, but I never ask for people for majority. I'm not the type of person who asks people for anything. I just observe and learn. So I'm not the type that will ask unless I feel really okay. You have in your superpower, you can help me there, but it will be more verbally usually, like, hey, I need a hand there, like, can you give me a hand? I'm not seeing this properly, and then it will be verbally explaining to me, and then I'm capturing it. Same thing like reading a book, right? So I'll use a friendship for that in
Yeah.
that case, or my girlfriend for that case, and go like, hey, what do you think about that? And bounce on it, and that's more.
Yeah. Well, what's interesting is that in your worldview, you would think that people read books and they kind of do most of the things that book says, and they don't. So most of
Yeah.
the time, people read books
Okay.
is just a waste of time. You're just
Okay. I
keeping
didn't know
yourself
that.
busy.
I did not know that.
I At one point I went into a bookshop for a self-help section, and I read most of the books in this section, and I was like, but I'm still not fit enough, not rich enough, not happy enough. And I'm like, this is a waste of time, because this is how people procrastinate. So
Okay.
what you do instead, you do exactly what you're supposed to be doing. You just learn. You just take action. And I think if people like myself, instead of reading all these books, would take action, I would be way further ahead. So it's also a superpower for you not to be able to do it. You have to find a different way, but your way is exactly the way that gets you results. Because if you just sit and read and do nothing, nothing will happen.
Yeah.
But
Well,
it's very hard to understand.
yeah,
So
yeah.
it's very useful. I'm reading a book, but nothing happens.
But I jump in it, and sometimes it's been. But in the business and entrepreneur side, it has it's been good, but I never think of, oh, how much is it gonna give me financially? I'm just thinking about like, oh, I gotta do this. So let's say I opened my first cafe. I was like 17, and I opened another one when I was 27, and then, well, when I was not thinking how much I'm gonna be selling. I was thinking like, oh, how is gonna be looking the shelves, and how am I gonna build this, and how I'm gonna create it, and then when things happen, I'm like, this is fun. This is okay, but I'm not
Yeah.
I'm
So
not
not about the result. But what drove you to open the cafe in the first place? Like you choose to open a cafe or not to open a
I
cafe?
didn't choose to. Somebody came to me and said, "Oh, this place is a great location, and there's a there's a cafe is really going really not good, and they're selling it like really cheap, but the location is in front of a park. It's amazing. And didn't you have a cafe when you were young?" I said, "Yeah, when I was really young." But and then I opened and I said, "Yeah," and I just jumped in it without really thinking, just going like, "Yeah, that could be a nice adventure." And then I did the same thing, start walking in it and turning around and then building it, and then it became a really big success, and then I sold it.
Wow.
Then I sold it to somebody else to continue because I don't want to run it for. It's not what I would do for.
So you're more like an artist than an
Cre-
operator.
yeah, I'm more of a creator than operator. I'll create, build it, make it happen, put it to life, and then send it, give it to somebody else to continue and
To continue running.
continue.
That's also important to know.
Mm.
Because another trap that people have is they just keep on being in the role that they are not fit in. If
Mm.
you would run this cafe until now,
No.
because you just think like, oh, it's important for me to be here. People do it.
People
I
do
did
that.
that
Yeah, yeah.
for a long time.
Oh, yeah. I know.
Yeah.
Then I start something else. I get into something else. I start something else, and my passion goes somewhere else. And then I want to keep continuing, and then I want to sell it.
Do you do multiple projects at the same time?
Uh, in a difficult way, I've had to, but it's not my strength. My strength is one project at a time. That's my
Which is
strength.
yeah, full focus.
Full focus, wake up on that, be there, be present in it, and then move on after. But operating it and I can do the startup phase, and then once it's in the startup phase, then I'm like, oh no, who's coming in now?
Yeah.
I need somebody to step in as a partner or just as a financial buyer or operator, but I won't I won't be that person.
And how do you find people?
In general, how do I find people?
Yeah, because you seem like you have strong teams that can execute, which is very rare.
Yeah, I think contacts and people will give me a hand. If when I get to that point, the people who really know me, they'll go like, okay, now he's gonna need somebody else to operate this. It's getting so they'll be like, wait a minute, hey Joe, I found this person that he can or she will be able to do this or a phone call like
Network.
network.
You don't go on the job board and talk.
You know, going to like it goes like yeah. Then and then um, I would say in the last 10 years maybe before I saw it as a sadly I saw it as a weakness of expressing it. Now I see it as a strength. So now I start telling people
That you need
that
somebody.
now I'm getting to the point where like now my project that you were talking about is getting pretty big.
Yeah.
So now I've been telling people around me, okay, I need an operator now because this is getting bigger than my capacity.
Yeah, we had this conversation too. I'm
Yeah.
still thinking about the operator for your
Yeah,
background.
so now I start telling people around me
Mm.
that I trust and that I think maybe they know or they feel or whatever, but now I start expressing it. The So that's something I can also give to younger dyslexic people is when you hit your limit, you really have to start expressing it because I cannot operate something that's the size it's going to have, and then there's going to be contracts, this and lawyers and notaries and then accountants, and then I'm going to get in something that is going to be bigger than my capacity, right? So and then I'm going to feel that I'm failing, and then when I feel that I'm failing, my plan is going to be to exit.
Yeah.
So then my plan, instead of building the vision bigger and bigger, then I'll just drop it.
Yeah. This is actually a very interesting feeling of failing.
Mm.
How do you discern between feeling of failing and maybe just being overwhelmed?
Mm. A very good question. How do I
Because for
yeah,
example,
give me an example. That would be good.
for me, sometimes, let's say I work on a project,
Mhm.
and I think the difference, I'm answering my own question.
Yeah, yeah,
The,
yeah.
the
It's good.
difference is when you like the process, you're not failing. Like it doesn't matter if it brings you money or not. It doesn't matter if people like it or not. If you like it,
Mm.
you wake up and you do something meaningful,
Mm-hmm.
and you're moving forward. You're kind of succeeding.
Mm.
Once you put some objective metrics, which is never objective, just
Yeah,
funny.
yeah.
Money is an objective metric, is it?
Is it? Yeah.
Once you're saying,
Well,
well, I plan to, let's say you would say, in 2 months I'm planning to make, I don't know, $1 million, and then
yeah.
you're making 800,000. You're like, seem like I'm failing.
Uh,
But if you're doing it because no, let's say you want to create a retreat, and my goal is to create an amazing experience for a group of people who come. So this in your control,
mm-hmm.
because a lot of monetary goals is outside of your control. Well, you can make it, you can make it. It's all about people sending you money. They might send it tomorrow.
Yeah, yeah.
So a lot of it is outside of your control. But if you put it in your control, then you can see how you feel around it, and then you can see if you're failing or succeeding.
Well,
Does
okay.
that
Yeah,
make
it
any
makes sense. It
sense?
makes sense. But the way I deal with it is that when I start feeling failure, then I start feeling sad, and then I start. So I'm creating a pain inside myself
Yes.
that is becomes my reality. So I try to stay out of it a little bit, like I was explaining about the, let's say I built a wall or furniture at the wrong place or something in the kitchen, and then I try to find the right way to go with it. I think I do the same when it becomes failure or what's the other word you used?
Overwhelm?
Overwhelmed, overwhelmed. So my yeah.
Because I assume overwhelm is kind of when you do business, overwhelm is one of the rules of this business. So if you're an entrepreneur, things are not going your way no matter what. So I mean, I guess
They
you
never
feel overwhelmed or not, a
they
different question.
never go your way anyway. So to give you a recent example, to a recent example, I've been building this project that is bigger than my capacity. For sure, it is. It's bigger financially than my capacity. So then I have a friend that comes in and goes like, "Hey, Joel, where are you at with this?" And he knows me for a long time, and I go like, "Oh, I'm pretty much financially, I'm getting towards the end of my possibilities, and but I'm gonna make it happen. It's going on. I'm continue." And he's like, "Don't worry. You know what? I'll send you some money, and you finish what you have to do, and just." Let's say give me 50% of that, and I'm like, yeah, sure, no problem, that will help me, and then we'll get into it as a really soft. A normal entrepreneur would take that money, and let's say it's $3, he will take $1, put it in his pocket, and continue building with $2, and say, well, when we have. So what I did is I took the $3 and I built for $3.50 because I was just like, okay, but that the end result is that our project that was probably worth $6 now is worth $8. So he's winning and I'm winning, and I'm
Yes.
having fun during the process. So I didn't see it as something, I didn't see it as a failure. I just saw it as something like, oh, I think I can make a plus value to us. Both, to us both, right? I
Yes.
see it as, wow, you're giving me a hand in a period where I need a hand, and well, man, I'm gonna give you a hand too because I'm gonna bring us a plus value to this. So I'm able to do that thought, but I don't think it's an entrepreneur way of thinking. It wouldn't be that way of thinking.
That's a way of thinking of somebody who cares about what they do more than about themselves.
Mm.
Because the entrepreneur would feel, wow, I don't have any money and I might be on the street and the project might close and all those negative thoughts people think, and then they would be just overwhelmed by
Mm.
by that sensation. So when somebody would give them money, they're like, okay, I need to be very careful. I already ran out of my budget. Now I need, and you're like, let's go.
It's putting it in the second, third year now.
It's gonna work out. Let's
It's
go.
gonna work.
Yeah. Let's burn it. I like it. Yes, I would love to feel that way about the projects I do, but yeah, I don't know. My head is more on a safer side,
Oh yeah.
and it actually to that detriment as well. Because in the end of the day, most of the worries we have are not real.
Yeah.
So we create all the stories, and then we create the rules in our life around stories that we tell ourselves.
That we tell ourselves.
And then we're so scared of moving directions and taking risks while the stories we tell ourselves are just in our head and they are completely not real. So, but when you're in a process and you only focus on what's in front of you, like honestly, without any other subconscious bullshit, then I think this is when you can say, let's go. Whereas most people are like, no, but on social media I'm not look good, and then I'll have to tell my wife and that I'm the failure, blah blah blah. Like, stop it. Let's just go.
Yeah.
Relax.
Just go. Just put it in gear and go.
Yeah.
Enjoy it and try to enjoy it while you're building it. I think it's the most important. For
But
me, that's what I try to do.
But that seems like this is where dyslexia or whatever benefits it brings are different, because you are just feeling it.
Completely
And
different.
once you're feeling it, you're like, oh, I feel really good. Let's go.
It's completely different. And then I'm happy of the result that it's giving me as a feeling, and it's going to give the people that is surrounding me or helping or supporting. So even if it's a client that I'm building for, I'm really, really devoted to that person while I'm doing it. I find it I find it growth every little step. I find something that every time I'm changing. There's a little something I'm evolving. And if I go through that negative thought, then I do grow, going like, why am I doing this again?
Exactly.
And now I'm doing it a lot less longer than I would before. So now I'm able to shift it faster and go like, wait, this. First of all, it's material. First of all, it's just like it's a home. And most of the time, in my case, if it was clients or even my case, it's a second or third home or a third or a 10th sculpture. So it's not like it is a child, or that you have one, or that you have two, or it is the love of your life, or it's your parents, or it's something that it's a material that is, for me, has a personal value, but the growth is within.
And if you do the right thing, it's going to work out in the end anyway. It always does.
Yeah.
This is how world works.
Yeah, it does. It does. It works at the end. It's just that end part. I call it the 10 last mile. That's pretty much the hardest part in every project.
Yeah. I like Harmosi. I don't know if you know the guy.
No.
He's a lot on business.
No.
So he has this analogy of a marathon runner.
Okay.
You only see a marathon runners, like, if I don't know if you ran a marathon, I ran a few. So you only see at the beginning when they just like, let's go. And you see the last 100 meters when everybody's like cheering you at the end of finish line.
Totally right.
And people see it and they kind of make a picture of project or life or whatever by those two experiences, how you start and how you finish winning. But there was like, I don't know, 40 kilometers of you just jogging alone.
Up and down, alone, going, hurting in your feet. And
And especially like in a marathon, when you hit 32 kilometers, the last 10 kilometers is the worst. Everything is hurting and you have to mentally push yourself and kind of, it's like everything is hurting. You're like, I'm in pain. But you have to tell yourself, it's okay.
I
Like,
got this.
It's not okay. I'm in fucking pain. No, it's okay. You just keep going. Why? I don't know.
Well, I'm exactly at that point at the moment in my project.
Yeah.
I'm at the last 8 miles.
Yeah, Winston Churchill said, when you're going through hell, just keep going. So I think it's a good one. Yeah. I'm with you. But I actually I think we both are similar, that we get ourselves in the situation. You don't have to be there, but you kind of put yourself
Oh,
there.
you're right. I
Yeah.
didn't see that. You're totally right.
Yeah, and I'm in the same point. I was like, "It's so good, so good." No, no, no. Let's just shake it up. And they're like, "I don't want to shake it up. Stop it." But it's too late. Let's go. And then just go. It's wow. Beautiful. Well, thank you for sharing. I think it's an
Thanks.
important message.
Oh,
A lot of at least it opens eyes for me how people like you work.
yeah.
And that you can operate in this digital world with all the bullshit in your very authentic way, which I think is authentic. If you show up the way you are, you don't have to show off. You don't have to put it out. Your work doesn't have to be on on covers of magazines, but it's important.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's
Thanks. Thanks a
powerful.
lot. And I hope if it could help people that are dyslexic and still being in not seeing it as a superpower, that would be, if it helped one person, I would really appreciate it.
Yeah.
Because the day I saw it as a power is the day everything changed. So,
Beautiful. Yeah. Thank you for coming.
thanks
Thank
a
you for
lot.
showing on your first podcast. I
Thanks
really
for me
appreciate
to
it.
show up.
You showed up very well.
Show.
All
Thanks a
right.
lot.
Thanks,
Thanks.
guys. Bye bye.